Well, the Women's T20 Challenge has a new champion. The name of the champion is Trailblazers. May I please invite Boryada? And Boryada, I just have to ask you one question before we dig right into the game. The question is, what did that DRS with Smriti Mandhana do to you?
Uh,
With
you know,
Chamari Atapattu out.
that was the call. That was the call that made the game because Chamari Atapatu. And if you see the way that Sophie Eccleston delivery went, and I thought, is it missing leg? Is it umpire's call? By the way, welcome Rahul Rawat.
Yes.
Thank you
Rahul
very
is part of
much.
the India Today sports team and has been a colleague and friend for the last 5 years or so, and one of our very best. I mean, all of you guys watch Rahul Rawat on Sports Talk is because he doesn't come to Sports Today. For some reason, he refuses to.
No, no,
He
no,
he
no,
he only wants to go to where millions of people are already there. But I
no,
will
no.
snatch him back. No worries.
This is the first time that I've been invited, and I must congratulate you. Even though it's a new product or a platform, but the kind of content that you people are generating is definitely great. If you have cricketers, Pragyan Ojha, Deep Das Gupta, who've played cricket at the highest level. So, but the content, definitely, I cannot agree more that the kind of content that you guys generate is very, very good.
Okay, so let's make that into we Ridhima because Rahul will be a permanent feature from now. I mean, if that
Lovely.
means taking him on Lien, I will do that. If that means poaching him, I will do that. Whatever it needs to do, I will do to ensure that Rahul is on our platform. Now it's over to you.
It's a pleasure to have you, Rahul. I hope you enjoyed the match.
Th- yes, yes, absolutely, Ridhima. Thank you very much.
So, well, we finally have a new winner. We've got a new title owner of the Women's T20 Challenge. We've got Trailblazers right there. So let's just take a look at the first half and the second half. The first innings, how brilliant was Smriti Mandhana today for you, Boryada? Not just as a player, but also as a captain.
Superb innings. And if you see, Deandra Doughton was struggling. Deandra Doughton
Yeah,
was not able to get bat on ball. She was struggling. And to control that innings like the way Smriti Mandhana did, in a way, it was telling me that post Harman, India has its captain. And I've asked Smriti this, Rahul knows, on our show Inspiration. And she said, it will come to me when it will come to me. I am in no hurry because she knows it will come to her. And if you see
yeah,
her body language, her very calm, composed demeanor, the way she skippered the whole innings, channelized, and even after Radha Yadav's phenomenal five-wicket haul, 120 high pressure match was enough, and more because Harman got injured. But she kept pushing herself, and that bowling attack is very good. I mean, we've been saying this, Ridhima, that this batting attack is dependent on Chamari Atapattu a little bit, and it was
yeah,
proved again. But how good that DRS call! You made that point at the start of the show.
yeah.
That was an incredibly good DRS call.
Now, the reason why I also asked you is because I believe she was the captain of one of your fantasy teams.
Yes, she was. I mean, I the team did very well, but I've got to confess,
Yeah,
last second, I split it between Radha Yadav and Deepti Sharma. Deepti did well, so
yeah.
Radha was captain. For some reason, I flipped it between Radha Yadav and Deepti Sharma. Had it been Radha
There you
Yadav
go.
captain of that fantasy team,
That's
today would
it.
have been Bonanza Day.
That's it. What about you, Rahul? I mean, was it Harmanpreet Kaur's injury that sort of defined it for the Supernovas? Had that not happened today, we would have seen a different result altogether.
Absolutely. All these weeks, and in fact, more than a month now, what we've seen is the batters, they are, even in the IPL, the batters, especially at the latter stage of the game, they have to struggle. So the start was very important, which, Smriti Mandhana did give her team. As Borega just mentioned, Doughton was struggling. Still, it was a 71 run stand. So that actually set the platform, even though it wasn't a score in the anywhere in the vicinity of 140, 50, but still it proved to be enough. I think the Supernovas were banking on a similar kind of start from Chamari Attapattu, but unfortunately it wasn't her day. But then Harmanpreet, yes, she did get an opportunity to bat at one down because uh, in fact, Harmanpreet, they had to bank on her, but unfortunately, but towards the end, I think she left it too late.
Yep. All right, but before we get into further sort of dissection of the game, Rahul tells us, since tomorrow is the big day of the counting the votes in Bihar, Rahul tells us that Tejasvi Yadav has played with Virat. Is that true, Rahul?
In fact, he has played as Virat's deputy. In fact, he has played as Virat's captain also. If you ask Dilip Vengsarkar, of course, a great Indian batsman, and also the chairman of the selection committee, once, he had gone to see how Virat plays. I think this must have been in the Vijay Merchant Trophy under 17 or 16, or I don't remember exactly. And in that particular innings, in that particular match, Virat was being led by Tejasvi Yadav, and Steve Vengsarkar had specially gone there to see how Virat plays. And as it happened, 2000, a couple of years later, Virat at that time would have been 50.
I think we are having a technical issue on his end. So why don't we show you a glimpse of what he was talking about? Take a look at this.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. We were just taking a glimpse
I
of
think
what you
there's
were
some.
talking at.
We were
Uh,
showing the visuals, Rahul. Now you can talk. I don't think he can still hear us.
all right. Okay, no problem. But that's interesting, Burada. That and a day before the big day, it's nice. It's nice to see the relation between him and cricket.
There has always been a relation between cricket and politics. In the morning, it's in the Indian Political League, and in the evening, it's the Indian Premier League. So it's
Yes.
IPL right through tomorrow. So in the morning, sit in front of India Today television and watch politics. In the evening, at 1:30, take a half an hour break and join Sports Today. And then in the evening, come and watch IPL and then join us. So that's what you do. Having said
That's
that,
right.
Vidima, I mean, politicians in sport have been bedfellows, as you know. I mean, whether it's Mr. Pawar, whether it's NKP Salve, whether it's Raj Singh Dungarpur, whether it's Jai Shah, whether it's Anurag Thakur. So politicians have always been a feature of cricket, and that's how it is. I mean, even around the world, if you see Olympics, if you see a lot of other spheres, because politicians can get a lot of work done. So I'm quite for example, think about this. If at any point in time you go to, if Tejasvi Yadav does win, you go to a Tejasvi Yadav with a cricket proposal, obviously you will get a good hearing, because the chap knows what sport is all about, and one expects him to back cricket. And Bihar needs someone who backs cricket, because Bihar cricket is not in the best hands, or was not in the best hands. So in that sense, I welcome anyone who does good for sport, whether it is Tejasvi Yadav, whether it is anyone else for that matter. But this is a very interesting kind of coincidence that this fellow played with Virat Kohli and was also his captain.
Very, very interesting. And not
Well,
just
I'm
that,
I'm
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
Ram.
you are.
There
I'm
you
I'm
are.
Go
so
on.
sorry. I'm so sorry. So yes. So in fact, I was telling you how Dilip Vengsarkar had gone to see Virat, and that is where he saw Tejasvi also. And I think he still remembers that. And Tejasvi has played a lot of cricket with a lot of these Delhi cricketers. I remember, when I was in school, he used to study in DPS. So I remember I also had played a match against Delhi Public School, and it had Tejasvi as well. I think at that time he was keeping, but I don't remember exactly what happened in that match. But as for he's just played one first class game after that. But age group tournaments, he's played a lot of age group tournaments in Delhi. a lot of people familiar with Delhi cricket. MP Singh, who's also the coach of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He was also Tejasvi's coach at that time. Of course, he had his own entourage of security personnel when he used to travel with the team to play these matches. But I remember I was speaking to one more cricketer, Manan Sharma, who was his roommate, the former India player Ajay Sharma's son, Manan Sharma. So he was telling me a lot of stories. But yes, Virat and Tejasvi have played a lot of cricket. In fact, I remember on Virat's birthday, RJD, the political party from which Tejasvi is associated with, they had tweeted also that it was because of him that Virat went on to become the Indian captain, and of course, after which they were trolled as well.
Nice. Thank you so much for for adding all for sharing that information with us, and it was good to see that. Along with that, that's not just the only update that we have for you. We have so many updates that have happened throughout the day. BCCI comes out with the big news. Rohit Sharma is included in the test squad. That's why our comment section is buzzing with a lot of happiness right there. Also, Virat Kohli being granted that paternity leave. Sanju Samson included in the T20 squad. Borada, plenty of updates. What do you make of it? Sanju Samson included. Ishant
Uh,
Sharma included.
Without sounding pompous, on that night of 26th
Yeah,
October, Sports Today broke it. Rohit
broke
Sharma
it.
will play the Test series and not the white ball series. We said that. We said exactly this. If you see last night's bulletin, we said Virat Kohli will not play the two Test matches, if not three, because of the 14-day quarantine. So Ishant Sharma will play. Rahul knows that as well. So all of this, and all our viewers who have joined us with Hima will know that each of these news items have been broken by us on Sports Today. So we might be a new platform, but we are a pretty decent
But
platform as far as news reliability is concerned. So now coming to it, I think the way forward, firstly, it's Virat's personal call, sensitive call, and I'm absolutely fine with it. Okay, I mean, several people might have several thoughts, but first child cricket series will come and go. You've got to give it to the Indian captain. He deserves his leave. He will come, be with family. Totally understandable. In normal circumstance, he may have missed one test match, but because of quarantine issues, he might miss more. If Australia does change its quarantine rules, do not rule out Virat Kohli not playing the Brisbane Test. Because if the quarantine rules brought back from 14 days to 7 days, I still think Virat Kohli can make it back to Australia in time for the fourth test match. We've got to wait and see how COVID unfolds in Australia. At this point in time, it is pretty much under control. Now, according to me, Rahul can chip in. I think it will be KL Rahul in the middle order. That's what I'm hearing. The BCCI's plan is KL Rahul in the middle order. Test match, Rohit and Mayank will open. Shubman and Prithvi are backup openers. It depends on the tour game. Ishant will play the tour game. From what I
yeah,
understand, Rohit might not travel with the team. Rohit and Ishant will go later and will play the two tour games and then go on, fulfill their 14-day quarantine and then go on to play the test series. But without Virat, a test series in Australia, it'll be huge for Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, and whoever bats in that batting order.
happy with the changes there, Rahul.
Well, it was their decision. I would have preferred to see a full Indian team there in Australia, because if you have to beat this Australian team, which of course we did win it the last time. The Indian team did win it the last time, but this time you'll have Steve Smith back, you'll have David Warner back, and you'll have a certain Manas Labuschagne who has transformed suddenly, who's transferred over a period of time into a very very good batsman. And secondly, although the bowling attack remains virtually same that this Indian team faced down under last time, but Virat's absence. See, he may not have scored a lot of runs last time, but it's his presence that actually makes a lot of difference to the opposition camp. So yeah, Virat's absence might be felt, but I think it gives an opportunity, an excellent opportunity. KL Rahul, as Boreda just mentioned, I think first test KL Rahul might have to miss. But yes, second test, as he just pointed out, I think number 4. But we have the bowling attack. It's just that can we actually put enough runs on the board, to put Australia on the back foot.
Right. They're still
Absolutely.
checking Ridhiman Saha's availability, right, Burada? I mean,
Ridhiman spoke to me last night. I'll put it on record. Ridhiman spoke to me last night. It's a grade 2 tear, is what I'm hearing. It's a tear. And it will take time because Ridhiman was like, we've done an MRI. They did the MRI 3 days after the injury, which tells you obviously the injury didn't heal. That's why they had to do the MRI. And it was around 1 o'clock that Ridhiman and I were chatting after our show on Sports Today when SRH lost. And Ridhiman was like, so I asked him, are you going to travel with the team to Australia and get it to heal there? He said, I've not yet heard anything from the BCCI. So I'm assuming I'm traveling. That's what Ridhiman Saha's update was. But it will take time. But because he's a red ball player, it will depend on what level tear, to what extent, how many weeks, etc. That he said will take 48 hours to 72 hours to diagnose. So one can still hope that before the tour games, Ridhiman Saha should be ready.
interesting. Now that does give us some clarity over the India tour of Australia. Shifting gears back to the women's T20 challenge finalists. With a final like that, what does that do for the future of women cricket?
Solid, isn't it? I mean, look at the kind of talent on show there. Look at the
Yeah.
kind of Harleen Deol, good series. Deepti Sharma putting, Deepti Sharma has become an absolute champion. I mean, finisher, uh, wickets, runs. She's got a little bit of power, maybe put in a little bit of muscle and body. And if you see some of the sweep shots that she played, India needs a finisher, and Deepti Sharma is able to do that job. Harmanpreet, Smriti. And if you see who won this game, Smriti Mandhana with that innings, Indian. If you see who won this game in terms of bowling, again, a lot of Indians. But I was super
Radha.
impressed with Julan. Radha Yadav, 5 wickets. Absolutely, Rahul. Father, 5 wickets from Radha Yadav. But look at Julan Goswami. I mean, at this age, she was still able to move the ball, even with that wet ball. Unbelievable. Indian women's cricket, according to me, is in safe hands. Rahul, do you think this side can go on, and especially in the 50 over format? Because we are a very good 50 over team, mount a real challenge come 22?
Well, absolutely. And 2022 is going to be a very, very important year for this team. Of course, World Cup will be at the top, will be the topmost priority. But you also have to remember that we also have Commonwealth Games. And this time, the women's cricket has also been included in the Commonwealth Games. But as you mentioned, I think they have got a very solid and balanced unit. You mentioned about Jhulan. Every time I see her, I just get reminded of Leander Pace. They work like two old war horse, because I've been watching Jhulan Goswami from ages. In fact, a lot of people younger to me, ever since they were born, they must have been watching her on television playing this every format of cricket. But I think T20, because of women's T20 challenge, I think we are getting the Indian women's team is getting more accustomed. And as the more number of matches they play, the better they get. But ODI, we did come close last time. Let's hope we
We could.
just win it this time. Still, there is a long way, but I hope that India can do much better this time around.
Yeah. Well, the league has a new champion. Rahul, do you think we will be able to say the same thing tomorrow as well?
Interesting, but I think Indians would start as favorite, but uh, it's a new game, because Mumbai Indians, they know, they have been through all this. They've won four titles before this, and they have a core team that has been there for for a lot of years now. And as for Delhi Capitals, they had a few issues with Marcus Stoinis opening the innings. They did get the balance right, but will that click again? Or but Mumbai Indians, for me, they start favorites because they look a more balanced team. I think the only weak link that they might have is spinner. They have Delhi Capitals have better spinners in Ashwin and say Akshar Patel compared to Mumbai Indians, where they have Krunal Pandya and Rahul Chahar. Of late, Rahul Chahar has been struggling with the maybe a wet ball because of dew, but you never know. They might just include Jayant Yadav, the off spinner, because he has a very shrewd brain as far as bowling those spinners is concerned. And also you have to remember, because this has become a norm now. The moment you have a left-hander facing bowler, you get an off spinner. The moment you have a right-hander, leg spinner. So Delhi Capitals have Shikhar Dhawan, Delhi Capitals have Rishabh Pant, Delhi Capitals have Hetmeyer, Akshar Patel in the lower middle order. So you might just see Jayant Yadav tomorrow. That's what I feel. So maybe they might just go with Rahul Chahar.
Good point.
But I still feel Jayant Yadav could be a very good inclusion in that 11 tomorrow.
Good point.
What is that, Jayant Yadav?
Very good point. Very, very interesting point. I mean, makes a lot of sense. Jayant Yadav, experienced fellow, has a lot of cricket behind him. Not played so much this IPL, but will be a handy inclusion. I mean, due Rahul Chahar, if he's struggling with the dew, and we were told by Deep Das Gupta earlier today there will be dew in Dubai, so that's not a bad call at all. I mean, fairly interesting call. But I agree. While Mumbai, and but I've said it, I want a new champion just for the sake of the IPL. It'll be a good inclusion. I mean, a good thing to have a new champion in Delhi, because that'll spice it up. And 4 months down the
Uh,
line, Delhi
let's
will.
let's
So let's
let's
see.
be fair. Give the title to the team that plays better tomorrow,
Yeah,
be it
yeah,
Mumbai
Yes,
Indians
that's
or
fair
Delhi
enough.
Capitals.
That's
true.
Mumbai
true.
But
Indians.
Mumbai Indians deserve to
Look,
Rahul, are you in
the
Delhi
kind
right
of
now?
cricket. Yes, he is.
I am
You're
in.
in Delhi,
Yeah,
right?
I am. You can say.
So
You
tell
can
me
say that I'm in.
what is the public reaction? Delhi's made it to the finals for the first time. Finally, वो
It's
दिल्ली वालों, मुंबई वालों का debate थोड़ा settle होगा. So tell us what
it's
is the answer there?
Ridhima. Ridhima. It's very risky to go and seek those reactions, because
Oh yeah,
Delhi
of course, my
at
bad.
this point in time,
My bad.
it's very hazy, polluted, and
My
it's
bad.
a very risky proposition. Obviously, with
With
the but
Wajak
yeah,
and Paul.
but Delhi, I know a few people who are die-hard fans of Delhi, but I think a lot of people actually are saying that they want to see a new champion in Delhi Capitals. Maybe it could, because Sunrisers Hyderabad had earlier won in 2016 when RCB made it to the playoffs. A lot of people were saying, but Mumbai Indians have functioned like a well-oiled machine. Every aspect, every person in that team knows exactly what his job is, when they have to do it, everything. So I will be surprised if Delhi win, but they will have to play extraordinarily tomorrow. And also Mumbai Indians will have to perform poorly to lose that match.
Super. We've got some of your fans who joined in and they're saying, you got Cricket Corner saying Rahul sir a big fan. So there you go. You've got some fans also out here who tuned in to
Me,
Rahul. Yeah.
I have got. Uh, Let me be a little modest then. Thank you very much. So,
All right. I
one more
think
reason to be on your show then.
absolutely. Actually, you should have no reason to not be here. You should be here
No,
all the
absolutely.
time with us.
You guys ask me. I don't have to say that you guys have to invite me, but then it's pleasure on this platform. In fact, as I said, you guys are doing an incredible job, and especially the kind of content. A lot of people enjoy this, including me, because the kind of insights that Pragyan Oja bring in. He's not somebody you would listen a lot, but still I know. See, I don't know if you've ever mentioned this on your show. See, Pragyan Oja would probably be the only cricketer who won a man of the match in his last test match, took a 10 wicket haul, and never played for India after that. Imagine. So, and he's got a very good understanding of the game. Deep, of course, we listen to him a lot on air, on those various social media platforms. And of course, Boryada, so we've been listening to, and as far as you are concerned, we've seen what an incredible job you did during the ICC 2019 World Cup. Of course, couldn't return home with the cup. None of you guys.
Oh my God. But thanks a lot. But tomorrow, if Delhi wins, you have to join us because we've got plenty of promises that have been made if Delhi wins out here. So sports today is
She's
gunning
she's
for
a
Delhi.
she's a Shreya Iyer fan, Rahul, and I've
But your
promised that
cap, Ridhima, your captain, I think, is one of the weak links in that team. His body language suddenly drops. I think Shreyas Iyer, I don't know what is happening behind the scenes, but when I see him, because when I see him in the field, he's leading the team, and if they have to chase, it seems as if he's already thinking about his batting. Even when he's in the team on the field, it seems that he knows that I'm out of form. I have to make some runs, and that is where I think Rohit Sharma. I remember last match he came. He went for a duck. He went there, and we could see that how relaxed he was. And suddenly, if I see Shreyas Iyer, I compare him with others. Be it David Warner, be it Virat Kohli, be it Rohit Sharma, be it Kyron Pollard, be it anyone. So I feel Shreyas Iyer, he still has to do a lot of work. I think his form with the bat is also playing on his mind that I have to score runs. He wants to score runs, but somehow he's struggling, and that is reflecting in his captaincy as well. Last time you got some good runs, 189 runs, which were good enough to defend. But there was a stage when I could sense that his body language wasn't there, even when Kane Williamson was back. Samad, right? Samad.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping that he gives you no complaints tomorrow, though. So
I'll
we'll
back
find
Mumbai
out.
Indians.
Oh, you're back in Mumbai Indians? All right. I guess we'll find out very soon. We're less than 24 hours away from the match. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow 1:30 p.m. You've got to join us in sports today because Fast Digital is also joining us. And of course, be ready with your questions. The big day tomorrow, the finals of the IPL 2020. Will the defending champions claim the throne, or will this league too have a new champion? We'll find out. See you tomorrow.